It's recording now. I'm not going to make that mistake again and have the chit chat of my husband and I on there before it starts. But we are in the final week. Woo! It's always like, part of me is always like, okay, one, you kind of, part of you maybe wants to maybe not have to post or whatever. And then the other part of you is really liking the consistency of having to post every day. So I always struggle because I enjoy making it, but then I also am one that like really needs that feedback back. And so sometimes when people start slowly dropping, especially second, third week, it makes it more difficult to want to keep going. But we've had a really strong group, and I've been really proud of everybody. I feel like everybody's really done a nice job of communicating and giving responses back to each other and getting to know people and sharing tips and recipes. So it's been great. And I've got a lot out of it because there's been fabulous recipes and stuff coming up too. So that's been great. So we have 1 week left. And I don't know, I haven't checked yet, but Katie said she was going to put in the results. So it should be coming in sometime or another on what that is. And then we just have some fun little prizes too. So we'll probably do like a first and second for scores. But then we just have some like best cheerleader, best, food, whatever. So we're going to talk through some of those, and everybody should get probably some kind of prize. I mean, don't worry, I didn't buy you a car or anything, but it'll be something hopefully fun. So anyhow, we're rounding towards the end here. And the big thing is, first of all, I want everyone to know that I am always here to help anyone. So just because we finish out week 3, a lot of times we leave our group open for a while and just let people like post, because it's nice to have that accountability. And maybe you have something for dinner that you're like, you guys, you got to try this. I know there's Beachbody programs that are coming out. Like there was that new one, the real sports focused one. It starts with an M, like MFB, but I don't know if I'm saying that right. Like came out as an example.
Muscle,
muscle.
Fat builds muscle, or something
So I
about
think it's
muscle.
like MFB or whatever. And she's got 2 weeks of them. One's more like for people just coming in, and then she's got a more advanced one, but it's a 3-week program again, and it's very dialed in. So like I think that would be a good one for me, like when I'm getting ready to go back to school, or that right around Christmas. Like I always want to do something to kind of get myself going after Christmas time or whatever. So I think that would be a really good one for that. I just think it's going to be really intense and really more like calisthenics. So jump ropes and things like that. There is a new product that's coming out that looks like something to help with your sweets, like cravings and stuff. It says cravings, but it's some kind of new product that comes out to help with that. And I feel like it's dropping in the end of July. So I was kind of interested to see what that's like. The salted caramel, you all, the Shakeology is so good. Like Bo thinks it's a really gross color because it's kind of like a, it looks like salted caramel does. So it kind of looks like diarrhea, but it tastes really good. So I really liked it. But I really like salted caramel. Like I'm constantly putting that flavoring in my shakes because I just like that taste. So it's really good. It's already like one day that flavor was already sold out. So, but I'm sure, like I feel like that happened to them during the pumpkin spice and the chocolate one. So they usually bring it back in and do like another 2 or 3 times of it, and then they'll take it off and bring it back again, I think, in the summer. So I think they're going to just have these flavors every once in a while that you can kind of pick that's extra. And it came in 14 at once. And I feel like it was about 50, 60 bucks for a box of 14. And so I shared it with Katie and Shiloh because we weren't sure if we'd like it. So that's the hard part. Like I don't want to get a bag of 30 of some new flavor and I don't really like it. So that's one thing we've really done, is kind of shared with each other when a new flavor comes out to try, so you're not stuck with that flavor for the entire month. So there's lots of that coming out. There's new recipes that just went into the Beachbody On Demand Fixate. They just showed like my favorite, because I'm a sweets girl, was this little apple pies that look super, super delicious. And Bobby, Autumn's brother, is the one that drops those in. I know the cauliflower ice cream's finally in there, which I wanted to try. I know it sounds crazy, but they said it was really good. So I think sometimes you just have to be open. I watched Paula Deen today make a water pie. Did y'all see that? I don't know if you saw me post to that, but it was from the Depression, and it literally has like nothing in it. It's like a cup and a half of water, and it sets up like a custard. And it had like flour, sugar, vanilla, and butter. Yeah. But it's kind of like a butter pie. I mean, really, probably butter sugar pie or something. But it looked decent. So I kind of want to try it just to see, what it's like. So I'm always looking for things to get me over that hump of my cravings without feeling guilty. And that's why that Shakeology ice cream that I made the other day was super delicious. And you get quite a bit if you're, using your Shakeology and your banana for the day. And I love it. And it gives me that fix that I need, especially in the afternoon when I want to go out for ice cream. Because right now, that's my craving is. Dairy Queen just got some new flavors, and I want to be tasty.
I know. I saw that.
Killing me. It's killing me. So I'm doing that. But after we're done, we usually open it up. There's 2 or 3 of you guys in here that have really thought about the Beachbody program. So I'll probably be hitting you up and talking to you more specifically about the programs that you have been looking at to see if you're still interested in it. And again, if you're not, it's no big deal. Or even if you just want to do the Beachbody On Demand, which I think in by itself is such a plethora of great stuff, because you can take it anywhere. Like, I just booked my vacation to go see my daughter, and I'm super excited. But I also know that I can still work out that entire time. And for me, that's really important, because I can still have that and I can go anywhere with it. So, obviously you're probably not going to want to do some kind of weightlifting program on your vacation, but there's so many other things there that you don't have to feel like, oh, I'm going somewhere, I can't work out. And you can take it can go on your phone or your iPad or wherever. And the nice thing about Beachbody On Demand is you can download some and put it in your Beachbody app, and then you can be off Wi-Fi, which, like, we're about to go to a really small town. So hopefully, I'm assuming they have Wi-Fi, but hopefully that's not an issue, but it could be. And so now I have access no matter what. So those are some great things. I love sharing templates. So I know I sent the template that was in the very first category, which was A, but there's several of those. And I've got lots of templates to kind of get you started. And this week's recipe day, I think that's Wednesday, I think. I put on the lady that I follow, which I know Shiloh knows. And I think I shared one of her recipes again. She is really focused on Beachbody, but she also does like Weight Watchers and vegan and all kinds of things. And so she'll do like recipes for the entire week, and she gives them to me as an email every, I think it's Saturday or Sunday. And there's just a great list of recipes that you can make with the ingredients you can click on or just print out the recipe. And then she also has some templates that also have like really extreme, focusing on 21 days, whatever. She has that set up too. So she's a really nice one to follow. The bad thing about Pinterest is you can usually find really great stuff there, but you have to watch, because sometimes they tweak what all the ingredients stand for, especially if you're doing like a casserole or something. Sometimes they're like, well, it's sort of like a, and so you have to be careful with that so that you're actually making sure you're getting all the right ingredients in there. But so I follow her majorly, and I look at her recipes every week to kind of get just different ideas, which my husband can't stand because I just don't make plain food sometimes. So this week is very plain Jane week, and it's going to kill me, but he loves, just give me a steak or chicken or whatever and a potato and vegetable and I'm good. And I'm like, ooh, but you can add this and make that and use cauliflower to make a steak. No, I'm joking, but he feels like that's what it's like. So, so our last day will be Friday. And so what I will do is we'll probably take Saturday off because everybody's going to be getting ready for the 4th. And then on Sunday, Katie and I will send out kind of a, this is where the points are, and I'll probably do some kind of live video talking about who won all the prizes and how I'm going to send it to you and yada, yada, yada. So, but I also want you guys to really think about sharing out where you are on this journey. Like, what have you really liked about the 3 weeks? What are some things that were difficult? You know, give me feedback, because it's good for me to hear, good or bad, like we really like this, we really didn't like this. I think that's great. And I've been doing these groups for a while. Kathy and Shiloh, you guys have been with me for a long time. So sometimes it's repeater and you're like, I'm over it, but yet we have new people. So you kind of have to figure out the balance in that. So give me that feedback, but also go back and really visit your goals. Make sure you look at what you wanted to accomplish over this 3 weeks and really try to dial it in for this last week. Because this is where everybody kind of gets tired and goes, okay, maybe I don't want to follow this anymore. You know, 4th of July is coming up, so who cares? But that's my goal, is I want to be able to eat on 4th of July and not feel bad. But then the next day, I'm going right back to it. So I'm going to have my pretty much cheat all day. I'm not going to lie. So it's going to be a good cheat day. But I'm going majorly extreme before that so that I can have that day and then get back on my path of trying to get into my pants. So you kind of have to think about that. Where were your goals and what do you want to get accomplished, and are you there yet? I think everybody's done a great job of exercising and there's been some really healthy food. But then again, I'm sure there's some things behind the scenes that we don't all see. And nobody wants to put on there, hey, I ate a Snicker bar today. Here's to my Snicker bar. Like, nobody wants to put that stuff out there. So we know it happens. I love when people are honest about, oops, I did this or I ate that, but oh well, there's another day. And I saw a couple people do that. But I really think by having to post, you get that accountability. And you notice my sisters aren't on here, and they're probably going to be listening to this, and I'm calling them out. So some of that is what, you know, they just get into this mode of like, I don't want to do it, or I don't feel like it, or I'm going to eat this and that way I won't post. Well, to me, if you don't have somebody kind of saying, yeah, I see that you did that, but get back up and start, you know, getting back to it, it's real easy to fall off that wagon and continue going. And I know you guys, like I keep saying Shiloh and Kathy, but they've been there and done that with me so many times. And that's what happens to me all the time. Once I fall just a little bit, it tends to be like a mudslide. And then Shiloh and I start talking again, and we're like, okay, Monday, we're back at it Monday. So, and you know, there's just so many Mondays. And I think more than anything right now with this COVID and everything else, being healthy is the key, because who knows what our future is going to be for the next couple of years. This could be our world, is being at home all the time, and it's depressing and boring, and finding other things to do to keep yourself busy to keep yourself entertained so it's not food that we're turning to and drinks and desserts and all of that. I think that's the key. So our next group probably will not be until October. However, when we find out for sure what we're doing as teachers, that will change maybe a little bit. But Katie's kind of in the same boat. She's at the college level, and they're in all kinds of debates about what's happening. And I'm sure Florida's the same way. And we know Kansas is like middle of July before we know anything. So, and my husband keeps thinking we're going to be online. So I'm hoping for some kind of blended, because I need to be out of my house. But you know, we just don't know. And that's hard for me. And the more that it's not going to be nice for me to get outside, those are going to be the hard times for all of us. So finding times that we can still get together and maybe Zoom or talk or whatever, we can open that back up. So I'm not going to say I'm officially not going to do one till October, but that was the goal, because 10 rounds actually drops into Beachbody On Demand, and we were going to do one around that, because I think that one is the coolest program, and it is not like you can really be at any level. There's not a lot of jumping. It's not hard on my knees. The punching was fun. There was weights that I loved. I just loved it, and they were in different places the whole time. And I like Joel as a trainer too, because he's kind of fun and he's cute. So it's not bad to watch either. So, all right. So I am done talking. I'm not going to make this crazy long, but do you guys have any comments or questions or anything at this point that you want to ask or say?
It's been a good
Nope.
week.
Yes?
Last
It's
week was
Monday.
good. Huh?
You said it's been a good week, and I'm like, it's Monday.
Well, okay. It's been a good week so far.
Yes. And last week was good for you?
For the most part, yeah. Kind of fell off the wagon a little bit on the weekend, but
Isn't that the hardest? I think
yeah.
for me, I'm always like, I'm gonna make it. Well, that graduation celebration did me in yesterday, so I didn't make the best choice. I did do quite a bit of really good vegetables, and I brought my own stuff, but there were cupcakes. So I did have one of those.
And it's felt good to get back up in the morning again and get into that routine. So I think I'm going to go back and do a 100-day starting next week. And I'm going to try to get Hannah to do it with me. We'll see.
I really liked the time frame of those.
Mm-hmm.
And that some of them, you know, like you kind of knew what was coming up, but everything was different, which I really like the real-time ones for sure. It made a difference for
I
me.
just saw a post came up on my memories from, well, it's now probably almost 3 years ago. And it just made me sad because I looked so good. Now I'm kind of, you know, my face was really, really thin and I could tell. And now I'm back to my fat face again. But
You are not, but it's all about really staying dialed in. And,
yeah, oh, yeah.
and we know that. It's the Shakeology, it's the 21-day fix every day until you kind of get back where you want to go. So,
yeah.
But you're getting there.
Trying.
Doing great. What about you, Kathy?
I've enjoyed the 2 weeks. You know, I told you I'm kind of blending two programs together. Yeah. I've kept the Beachbody On Demand this whole time. Don't always use it faithfully, but it's always there. And Shakeology I order when I need it. But it's when I was sick, I got into iced coffee, and that was like my one thing the only thing I'd eat in a day. And so I'm mixing that with some other protein and coffee and trying to kind of come up with my own blend there. So, so yeah, it's been interesting.
Have you tried the cafe latte before?
No,
Shakeology?
I think I did a sample pack, but
Okay. Because I've actually really liked that.
mhm,
It was hard for me to do as a treat later in the afternoon because I'm a major coffee drinker in the morning.
mhm,
And but it was a really good breakfast item for me, and to do like and then add coffee to it. I loved it.
yeah,
So that would be one to maybe try if you ever just did like a 14 or the sample ones, or split it with
right,
somebody, like I said. That
right.
ends up being a good one. But and your knees are doing better?
Yeah, they're still, lunges are bad, squats are bad, so I don't go very low on any of those things. But I did the gel injections on my knees a couple years ago, and it's held up quite a bit.
Oh, yeah?
So took me 5 years for insurance to approve it, and I got them, and I it's I he didn't my doctor doesn't think that it should still be working, but I think it is. So
Well, and you do quite a bit
go
of
with that.
swimming and stuff, and I know
Right,
that's really helpful. I keep telling myself that too. Like the more that I do stuff in the pool, it's better for my joints
right.
than going out there. So, but I always get so nervous about my knees. I don't want them. I've had a couple surgeries too. I don't want that to. My dog is going crazy because he can
Because
hear
of
the
mine.
Yes.
And my dog's starting to growl too.
Yes, we have squirrels going nuts. So,
Yes. Yeah.
so that's my squirrel killer over there.
Yeah. Bo wants to paint our squirrels purple, so that's his big thing right now, is figuring out how to catch one and then dye it colored. Okay, whatever. All right, what about you, Tanya?
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing swimming as well. I try to do every other day swimming, every other day walking, only because it's so hot and humid, even early in the morning. I was a little disappointed this morning. It was my weigh day, and I didn't lose anything, so I was sad about that. But Jericho reminded me it could be I'm building muscle at the same time, so
Yeah.
maybe I can just let it go at that. So I decided I'll measure myself. I've never really done that, but I heard that's also a good way to keep track, so I think I'll try that.
Yeah, it really has helped us. I know it helps me too, because I hit plateaus really hard, and I'm back to that again. Like I'll lose like 1 or 2 pounds, and then I kind of just sit for a while because I'm, it's not like extreme, but I'm trying to get back down. And so if I always measure, especially before a program, I measure and then I take pictures. Because sometimes you actually see quite a bit in the pictures too. You're like, oh, wow, I am seeing definition in my stomach, even though the scale's not telling me whatever. So it's hard for us all, because we all grew up in that generation where the scale tells you everything. And I weigh every day, which is hard because I see that number every day. However, it keeps me accountable. So I don't get mad at myself necessarily, but I can see, like, if it goes up a pound, it's usually salt. It's not usually something horribly bad that I ate, but it's probably sodium intake for me. And I don't often think about that enough, especially in the evenings. So I use that information to help push me into whatever the next day is. But I too get stuck in my head for how much I weigh. And we have a coach, Ashley DeWeesa, actually started us, and her weight is actually pretty high, and she looks great, and she works out every day, and she's all muscle, and she'll lose, like, her body will be all trimmed down, and she's lost maybe 2 pounds. And so you're like, what the heck? So you were right. I think a lot of that is taking the time to measure yourself. I write them on my mirror. I have a mirror in my bedroom that I write all my stuff down, and the date of how much I weigh and all my measurements. And then I just keep going. And that's what really helped me, because that was staring me in the face when I get dressed. And so I go, okay, well, that's where I'm at. So that helps me focus. So I put little messages to myself everywhere, on the fridge, on the mirrors, just to kind of, and it doesn't have to be, you know, lose weight, but it could be a quote. It could be your stats, but I love having my stats right in front of me. So I don't have to look them up in a book. I just look on there. So it's just those Wash Up Expo markers. And that's really made a huge difference for me. So you might think about that, Tanya.
That's a good idea.
So, well, this is your first time with the group. What'd you think?
I liked it. I mean, it like you said, it really kept me accountable and kept me going. I mean, I'm pretty good about getting up, being motivated, like when I'm working, but now, like you said, being stuck at home and yeah. So I was really worried about just being here all day, not being as active as I normally am.
Right. I think we're all feeling that. So I'm hoping we get somewhat normal. I don't know. This whole like going on vacation has me nervous too, but I'd do anything to see my daughter. So we're going to wear masks. I think our hotel, actually, you have to wear masks the entire time you're there too. So, but there's a beach. So I'm going to be out on the beach as much as possible, and that'll be okay. Well, I'm glad you guys joined me tonight. I appreciate all your support and feedback, and the fact that you've been accountable every day. It makes a huge difference. Makes me feel better about what I'm doing as well. So I appreciate you all. And then, like I said, I'll contact you about stuff, and we'll leave the group open even after we're done with this week to just give us something to, you know, post in and, you know, share some of our goals and thoughts. And, you know, if you're having one of those days and you need some support, 15 people will jump in and support you, which has been one of the best things that I've enjoyed. So, all right, guys, have a great night. Try to stay cool. It is crazy humid everywhere. So, and have a fabulous 4th, because we still have a whole week, because it's been a great week, but we have more to go. Stay focused so that we can cheat on the 4th. Sound good? All right, guys, have a great night. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.